Hi there. I'm going to talk about the movie Conclave, which is a fairly recent movie about what happens when a pope dies and how the cardinals get together and choose the next pope. Um, my partner is Polish, therefore Catholic, and it was important to her to see it. It was not bad actually. I mean, I'm not a film critic. I'm not the critical drinker. I wouldn't be able to break down a movie and show where the writing went off that or was good or bad. I just sort of go, did I enjoy it? Did it make me excited? Did it make me sad? Did it was it tense, etc. Did it get an emotional reaction from me, which is a sign of a good movie. Before I go into the film, obviously I'm going to spoil the crap out of it, so spoiler alert for anyone. I wanted to sort of let you know where I am with faith and religion, because all my life I was an atheist. I'm now sort of consider myself a Christian, but I don't have faith, so I'm sort of culturally a Christian, and I'm trying. I am really trying to get the faith. I pray sometimes. I pray, and I ask Jesus to come into my heart, to let me know he's there, to help me find faith. I don't know how to do it. You can't make yourself believe something that you don't believe, and I don't accept this fake it till you make it thing. I don't know. There's a there's a logical part in my brain that won't allow me to just make myself believe something untrue. Um, but I used to be a real hard atheist, almost like an anti-theist. And that was largely down to watching too much of like the Richard Dawkins, Sam Harris, the sort of the new atheists um, movement, and it really got me like angry at all religions. And then over time, I got to realise that actually there's one very peaceful religion that we all need to be really worried about. And actually, when you look at how the the societies and countries that have thrived throughout the centuries and would have had the most sort of freedom and wealth to the masses, not just the ultra wealthy, you get to realize that actually Christianity sits on top of all others, and I don't think and I've accepted that the morals that I have, that I used to think were just automatically my morals because I thought I was a good person. No, they're there because I was raised in a Christian culture. Whether or not my family was a Christian household still didn't make a difference. That was the foundations, and I absolutely believe that. And so anyway, that's where I am there. And if anyone wants to pray for me to help me find my faith, please do so. But while you're there, maybe a little prayer for Tommy Robinson, because I can't imagine what that guy is going through. I have some issues with his behaviour in the past, but my God, he does not deserve what's happening to him. And let's hope that when he eventually gets out of there, there's something left inside of him. So perhaps that's where our prayers should be directed to. I know I do. I do mention him when I do pray. Anyway, the movie Conclave. So I guess Conclave, I think, is the term, the name of when all the cardinals come together and they go into what's known as a conclave. Behind locked doors, and they vote. It's a very, very political situation. They vote for which cardinal they want, and the cardinal that gets the most votes becomes the pope. Extremely political, and it's like there's stages, there's rounds of voting, because one has to have an absolute majority, I guess, in order to become the pope. And the movie is good like that. It's well directed. I say the acting is superb. Ralph Fiennes, for me, is the main character in this. He is so good. I would put him above any other actor in the world at the moment. Just watch a few of his movies to see how he transforms, into different characters. Absolutely sensational. John Lithgow is in it as well. I really rate him as well. A really good character actor, and I don't know anything about them personally. And please don't spoil it for me if they're terribly woke, because that will change how I feel about them. Um, so all the cardinals get together, and then there's a surprise cardinal that no one's heard of before, secret cardinal, if you like, and it's a Mexican guy, but he's the head of the church in Kabul. Yes, Kabul, Afghanistan. Now I have done zero research, so I don't know if that's a real thing or not, whether that's just purely for this movie. I imagine it's purely for this movie. Um, and he's a bit like a Mary Sue, if you know that term, like a kind of perfect person in every way, where all the other cardinals are deeply flawed political animals, ambitious, and so there's a lot of backstabbing going on. There's an African cardinal who looks like the favourite, and then one of the others manages to find out that uh, he had a relationship 30 years before, and he had a child. So that they got that the woman, the mother of the child, there to kind of destroy his chances. There's a skullduggery going on. It's good tense sort of. Not like an action thriller, but there's definitely a sort of a simmering kind of tension going on. It's pretty good, not bad. Anyway, there's whilst they're in the conclave in one of the rounds of voting, there's a terrorist attack outside. A jihadi car bomb blows up, and the glass is shattered in the Sistine Chapel where they are doing their vote. And, they get covered in glass and they're cut up and stuff like that. Now they have a baddie priest, who's the real baddie, who's actually an Italian in this, and he is a traditional old school Catholic. And so they say, he wants gay people to be imprisoned in this place and then burn in hell for eternity when they meet their maker. Now, I don't think gay people should go to prison. I don't think it should be illegal. I don't think it benefits society any damn way whatsoever, and I don't see why people are so obsessed in celebrating it. But I'm accepting of it, and live and let live. But what happens when you die is between you and God, I guess. As someone without faith, I'm condemned to an eternity of torture and agony. I think because it doesn't matter how you live your life, if you don't believe, you don't go to heaven. So I'm screwed. And if if God really hates gays that much, then that's between them and him, But in this movie, it was very that you could see the wokeness, the sort of the progressive undertone. So you had liberal cardinals, and you had more traditional conservative cardinals, and the conservatives were the bad guys, obviously. And this Italian one, after this terrorist attack, he gets really angry, and he's saying, the Islam has declared war on us, and we need to declare war back on them. And I'm watching him going, fuck yes, that's my guy. I'm voting for that motherfucker. And of course, but no, he's a baddie, and they're going, oh, you're a monster, and all this sort of stuff. That's not the way. We must be peaceful. We must accept it. It's just like, no, you mustn't. You've got to resist that death cult, otherwise you're doomed. Anyway, we're doomed anyway, probably. And so obviously he's not going to get it. And there's a twist at the end, you see. And so this sort of secret cardinal, the Mexican from Kabul, he ends up winning. Okay, so there's your massive spoiler, but there's another little twist coming. So there's Ralph Fiennes, as the leader of this conclave. He's also there, and he's trying to. He needs to sort of work out: is there some horrible dark secret that's going to come out? Like a dark secret, like say, Cardinal was in America and moving paedophilic priests from area to area so they would escape justice for raping boys and girls and what have you, and moving to another area so there's some fresh meat to rape, or grape. Well, it's too late, I said rape. Well, this video won't get seen by very many people, but that's what they do, isn't it? And you can't imagine a cardinal like that then go on and become pope, would you? So I don't know. But anyway, this Mexican cardinal, turns out that he had a secretive appointment at a clinic somewhere, I think like in Switzerland maybe, and they didn't know what it was. Anyway, finally has a meeting with him after he's been promoted to Pope, he's Pope in waiting, Pope elect, I don't know what you call it. And he confesses to Ralph Fiennes that he was going to have a hysterectomy. And then he didn't have the hysterectomy because he thought he should remain the way God made him. So I believe this was a hermaphrodite, because he said that he didn't know that he had female organs because he thought he was a boy. So obviously he had a cock and balls, right? And so I guess that makes him a hermaphrodite. I don't know. It's all very confusing. He's sort of that 0.0001 of people ever, you know. But of course, so now the Pope in this movie is a tranny, and that's the message for you. Uh, in order to save the Catholic Church, you must have a tranny as the Pope. So I hope I haven't totally ruined it if anyone's going to watch it. It's still a not bad movie, but I was just like, oh. And I said to my missus, because she's obviously like, she gets annoyed. She gets really annoyed because she's sitting next to me watching a film and I'm going, oh, all the messaging, you know, coming through. And then at the end, she was like, what the fuck was that? The Pope's a tranny. That's it, really. I thought I'd share that with you. Maybe lighten a few of you up. It's topical, obviously, because are they having a conclave at the moment? I don't care. I don't care who the next pope is. He's going to be just as woke as the last one, or a bit more woke, and he's still going to be obsessed by the World Economic Forum and make sure that countries in Europe have no borders, and make sure that the church starts to celebrate gay marriage and stuff like that. You know, I'm sure he will, or it. Anyway, I'll see you soon. Bye.